Hi, good morning. I'm Eduard Gil, the cluster manager for the Catalan Audiovisual cluster. On behalf of the cluster, I would like to welcome the ISE Fair to Barcelona and to give thanks for the opportunity to be here. The Catalan Audiovisual cluster is a network of 130 companies and institutions and represents all the Catalan audiovisual industry. In the ISE Fair, we will have 3 sessions, the big light shows today, and tomorrow at 10:20, we will have sessions about technological education from universities and the new challenge to audiovisual company events. In this session, the big light shows, we want to speak about the evolution of this segment, innovative trends, the leading companies, the art and the design of contents, and this audiovisual lighting sector for events. Today, we are here to talk about 3 big light shows projects. The first one with Marc-André Barril from Moment Factory. Then we have Aleix Fernandez from Onionlab. And finally, Jordi Sellas from Ideal. Moment Factory is a company from Montreal and also has office in Paris, New York, Tokyo, and Singapore. Moment Factory has worked on fantastic projects such as the intermission of the Super Bowl, the creation of immersive experience in concert like Red Hot Chili Peppers, in museums and big bridges. They have a strong collaboration with the Catalan company Lavinia. Now, we have with us Marc-André Barril, who is the Business Development Director of Europe at Moment Factory in Paris. Marc, as you know, the tourist industry is very important for Catalonia and Barcelona. How do you think that these live projects could contribute to the tourist industry, and what solutions do Moment Factory offer to this industry?
All right. Thank you. It's really an honor to be here in front of live audience. It's been a while. We have a presentation. I think the best is to present a little bit what is Moment Factory, where we come from, and then answer your question. So let's see if this works. So I'll start by playing a video that will show you some of the projects of Moment Factory that we did in the past years. So in the video, you can see different projects we did. We're playing with lights, with illusions, with scenographic elements to create many events and many permanent projects. You can see different content we create, some interactivity. We like people to interact with our installations. Some augmented games that we create on the floor for people to all play together with the family. We did do a lot of shows, live shows before COVID, of course. Lots of permanent installation for different brands, really creating those 3D illusions. Some airport projects, that's at the LAX airport. Live performances. I will talk about those projects called Lumina in a minute. This is Aura that I will show you a little bit later also. And we work with cities to illuminate bridges, to illuminate the cities, bring a little bit of magic outside of the house. You can see different shows we did. This is in Broadway, New York. This is Muse, with again some interactivity live on stage. We really like to prototype and do R&D on stage with artists. This is at the Shanghai airport. Some content some installation we did in Thailand. We did some world tour. This is with Madonna, Ed Sheeran, and you mentioned Red Hot Chili Peppers for the. This is the installation for Red Hot Chili Peppers. So it's very diverse type of projects. And what combines the vision behind all of those projects is the notion of public, doing it in public. And of course, in the past year, like everybody suffered from that. Where is the public? So I think to answer your question is how can we move to the next step? How will the industry start again? So I will explain a little bit who we are. So the special thing I would say about the studio, about Moment Factory, is that we're creators from all around the world who collaborate together and very multidisciplinary. We're 350 people, so it's a pretty large scale studio. 20 years of existence, more than 350 projects, and different offices from around the world. I personally come from our Paris office. I opened our Tokyo branch a couple years ago. So it's been quite a fun journey. So I've been 12 years in the company, and I've been seeing the whole growth and development of the industry, of a new industry, basically. So basically, the Moment Factory was born creating different shows. You can see the Sagrada Familia, actually, which was our first project in Europe in 2012. So it's already quite 10 years ago that we did an illumination of the Sagrada. So for sure, all the projects at the top row in the past year, it's been very difficult for everyone because the show industry has been on pause. We've been lucky enough to be part of the transformation of the industry into what we call destinations project, which is permanent projects that are installed in airports and cities and theme parks. And with this transformation, we created different new type of ticketed experiences, which are permanent projects over multiple years. What you can see here is the different show we opened in the past 5 years, well, since 2014. And the amazing thing about those shows is that even during the pandemic, we were able to open most of those shows because they are outdoor. They are in nature, in the forest. I will show you some visual in a minute. So we started developing those shows basically in Montreal, in Quebec, close to our hometown. And we've been exporting then those magical shows around the globe, starting in Japan, in Singapore, in the United States, and now we have 2 new productions in France. A new one will open in a couple weeks, and Spain, of course, would be a very amazing market, you know, to bring those shows. So I want to talk just 2 minutes about, because I know we're very short on time, but very 2 special type of show we produce. The first one is called Aura. Aura is a very special product. It's a permanent sound, light, and special effects show to put inside the cathedral and the church. And it's really to magnificent the beauty of the existing architecture. So it's really in respect of all the different, you know, amazing architecture that already exists. So we put alive the places that normally the public is not able necessarily to open and experience the show like that. I will show a little video. You will understand. Here you go. Thank you. So an experience like this is the combination of the music, of everything, all the elements that makes it very emotional and very special. So that's one of the key projects that we're working on right now, the key format, the key experience. The second one is called Lumina. It's quite a magical story. So it started in 2014, close to our hometown in Montreal. We did our first Lumina called Foresta Lumina. You can see some images of different luminas around the world. It's only 6 years ago we did the first, and now we're opening our 14th forest. And one of the reasons is this became a product, an experience that the local people are really proud of. And it connects with the local culture, it connects with nature, but it also connects with international tourism. So those experiences now are so important, we think, because we really need to start connecting again, and the link with nature is very interesting. So all of the Lumina has a different story. It's a little bit like if you would read a book with your kids, and all of the chapter of the book is the zones you can see in this graphic here. So all of them have a different storytelling, and it's really a magical walk, basically, at nighttime with your family. I'll show, it's one last video. I really wanted to share that with you. It's a 1.5 minute video, and you'll get, I think, the essence of what the Lumina is. The Lumina projects for us, it really explains well the transformation of our industry for being open to those new type of projects that are permanent and that activates zoos, activates some natural parks, activates some theme parks during the evening time, where normally there would be no public in those places. So one last notion, of course, is those are big projects that necessitate a lot of collaboration. So even more now in those hard times, for sure Moment Factory is all about working together and collaborating. So we wanted to mention that we have a partnership now with a company that I guess everybody knows here called Lavinia. We're very excited because so far we've been opening those Lumina projects in France, like I said, and now we hope that with Lavinia, Lavinia is going to help us to, on the business development side of things for Lumina and Aura in Spain. So we hope this is a first step in the right direction, and collaboration, like I said, is key in our industry. So this is quite fast. I could talk for 1 hour, I told you. I only had 10 minutes, so I hope I was able to explain a little bit of what Moment Factory is, the transformation of our studio, and what we think is the beginning of a very bright future for our industry. So thanks, and it's amazing to be invited here in live, finally, after a year. Thank you, very much. Thanks. All right. There you go.
Thank you very much, Marc-André, for your presentation. Now we have Aleix Fernandez. He is the CEO of Onionlab, a company that produces audiovisual installations and exhibitions. They work at the intersection of art and design and technology. It is a Catalan company and very international. Aleix, your projects are very transversal with other industry, for example, film production and advertisement for brands. But how is audiovisual design helping to leverage other space such are retail, hospitality, and culture. What is Onionlab? What does Onionlab do?
Okay, thank you very much for the invitation, Marc-André. Amazing work, so congrats, impressing. I'm going to try to answer the question as fast as possible because we have only 10 minutes. Onionlab is a company. It's from here, from Barcelona. We create audiovisual content, interactive content, and shows for mainly creative industries, as well for brands that somehow are related with art, design, and technology. So the first case that I wanted to explain today is a case of a company or a retail shop, if I can pass the next slide. Can we go to the next slide, please? OK. That's a case study that I wanted to explain today. This is a sneaker shop based in Dubai, in the Dubai Mall, concretely, specifically. It's a sneaker shop that they sell post-market sneakers. So sneakers that have been sold before, and they resell again those sneakers. And they wanted to create something spectacular inside the Dubai Mall because they have a lot of competitors and they have to compete with brands like Chanel or Dolce & Gabbana. So along with our collaborators' external reference, we designed this shop that using audiovisual design, the brand can leverage on this audiovisual design to create an immersive experience, an audiovisual experience that let the brand attract more people from the online, from the social media, and attract more people from the Dubai Mall itself. So what we did was just base the design completely in audiovisual content. We installed some LED screens at the facade, and then used projection mapping for showcase the sneakers inside the shop. And we installed some interactive floors in the floor of the shop. The result is that this store is selling more than any other shop in the level shoes department in the Dubai Mall, more than Chanel, or Dolce & Gabbana, or Balenciaga. So I think that this is a great example of how the audiovisual design can help other sectors to increase or to achieve their goals. That's another example that I love. It's an installation that we created for Lush. Lush is a cosmetic brand that they sell organic cosmetics, and they have a flagship store in Japan, in the Shinjuku. So they wanted to promote the shop online, and it's a flagship store. So they asked us to create something related with light and this sense of peace and space that was relaxed and a light experience with a lot of colors. So we created this interactive installation, light installation. We used a tiny space that they had in the last floor, and we created these light installations combining sensors and LED tubes and mirrors that just let people, the clients, have an amazing experience inside the shop. And it was a really success. And it's another example that shows how brands can rely on these kind of installations to promote their activity. Of course, another example that happened in Fira Barcelona a couple of years ago was this relationship that we have with Sonar and Desigual. That's another case that shows really well how audiovisual interaction can help brands to interact with music festivals and how content can link both things, music festivals and brands. No? This was a massive interactive floor that we installed in the Sonar Festival and help people to connect with the brand, to connect with the colors of the brand, and create with the colors of the brand. Because at the end, this was a blank canvas, and people was able to interact with this black canvas and create animations and different scenes and outfits based on their movement. That's another example that I wanted to show today. And this is a projection mapping that we created for El Prado Museum. El Prado is, as you know, one of the most important picture galleries in Europe. And they had a problem. They wanted to communicate the history of 200 years of history. And so they came to us to create something that allowed people to understand the history of El Prado and communicate what the Prado is. This is the last sequence of the projection mapping that we created for them, and it's a projection mapping that was aimed for all kind of audiences, from children to grandpas. And it's a sequence that shows the guts, or tries to show the guts of the museum. The guts where Caravaggio and Velázquez and Goya and El Greco lives together and creates this kind of wall that it's in between the modern and the classic, in between the classical world of these really important and old paintings and new technologies, projection mapping, lasers, these kind of things that helps people understand old and ancient and historic culture as the painting of El Prado. And of course, one thing that we do a lot and we love to do is create content for light festivals. Light festivals are festivals that were created really recently to showcase digital artists and attract people to those cities. And it's more or less what Marc and André was explaining before. And I think the light festivals are a really good example of how audiovisual design, motion graphics, 3D interactive design can help, in this case, culture, to attract visitors, attract audience, and promote cities and promote activities and events and festivals. Well, that's all.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's all. Thank you. Thank you, Aleix, for your presentation. And now we have Jordi Sellas. He is the director of IDEAL in Barcelona. This is a first center in Southern Europe dedicated to the production and exhibition of digital arts. It is a unique center that combines the production of audiovisual pieces in different formats. IDEAL is a place that aims to research, create, and develop technology for immersive environments and experiences such as virtual reality, augmented reality, and holography, among other new narratives, to offer a wonderful experience for visitors. But Jordi, how is the management of this center, and how is the target of this audience?
Yes, hello, and thank you also to Cluster and the organization of ISE for this invitation, for having me here. When we started creating the concept of IDEAL based in this company that we created called Layers of Reality, we were a group of people absolutely in love with XR technology, immersivity, in all these different forms. We agreed that this technology at that point, meaning 5 years ago, was just dedicated to one very specific target. I mean, not everyone in the world has tried VR glasses or augmented reality glasses or, I don't know, artificial intelligence kind of devices. Yeah? So we were absolutely convinced that there was a necessity to link these technologies that was we're just dedicated to more a geek and technological fans audience to a general kind of audience. What do I mean with general audience? I mean kids, and I mean elder people. I mean, when you go to Ideal any day, today you go there. Well, not today because Tuesday is the day we close, but every day in the week when we're open, you can find 90-year-old people using VR glasses, and they love it. Every morning, you see most of the people are retired people. They have time, they have cultural interest, using this kind of technology that in any case would be possible to connect with them. But you also have school kids from 4, 5, 6-year-old looking at big immersive content in our immersive room, or also using the VR glasses or the other devices that we provide them. So from kids to elder people, everyone in the middle. To do that, you just don't need to use a specific technology properly, because technology allows you to do a lot of things. But you don't have to do a lot of things. You have to do the things that the audience is ready to do at that time. You can do a lot of things with virtual reality, but it would be a mistake to try to do that with this kind of wide audience that we're doing, because people get dizzy, people don't know exactly how to use the technology, people don't really love to put things on their heads. Yeah? So this is what we do. We link immersive technologies with wider audiences. And to do that, we realized that we needed to have a place that we found at the Poblenou district in Barcelona, a 2,500 square meters old cinema, opened in 1917 as a cinema. So in the end, after 100 years in that building, we are still doing more or less the same that the people who went there to watch audiovisual technology, the biggest audiovisual technology you could find in 1917, movies in black and white and a pianist playing, yeah, the score. Now you can see the latest technology in audiovisual in the form of big immersive room with projectors or virtual reality or all the other stuff. This is what we do. We have a small video if you want to see it. So our main challenge here is to link all the new development and new things that you can do in a lab with the audience in a very short time. So our time to market is really short. I mean, our real business is a box office business. So we're selling tickets. We are producing because we need to have contents for our venue, not just in Barcelona, but the other venues that we will be opening during the next year. But we are producers because we're forced a little bit to be producers, because we're happy to have other producers creating content for our venues. In the end, our real business is, what I say, a kind of box office business, because we're funded just with the box office revenues that we can generate, and also the merchandising revenues that we can generate in our shop. So our sustainability depends absolutely on how interesting can we be for a general audience. In our first year, we had the COVID lockdown, but despite all the problems that we had, with the lockdown and the restrictions after that, with our first 2 exhibitions, Monet and Barcelona Photographic Memory, who had 200,000 visitors, which is a really, under my perspective, I'm saying that, so, but I mean, I just want to be precise in the numbers because it means like that there's a very specific kind of interest in wider audience in this kind of content, cultural content linked to entertainment, this edutainment kind of content. And now we just opened, we were talking about this on the backstage. We just opened this new exhibition based on Klimt and the Vienna of the 1900. And we opened in mid-April. And at this point, we're near 60,000 tickets already sold for that exhibition. So if you're in the exhibition business, you know that this is a huge number. But if you are in the theater or live show business, music, festivals, you know that those are big numbers and interesting numbers. This is our challenge. Yeah? So that's why we're really happy to work with a lot of people, because we cannot do all the things that we need, not just for our venue here in Barcelona, but for the other venues that we're about to open during the next years.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you, Marc, Aleix, and Jordi. And thank you for your attention. Thanks for attending. Tomorrow at 10:20, we will have 2 other sessions about technological university, a challenge for the industry of events. See you tomorrow. Thank you.
Merci, thank you.